Hello everyone. I hope that each of you has had a wonderful weekend. I would like to say a special happy Father's Day to all of the dads in the group. Hope that you've had a nice weekend and that you've been treated very well, and that all of your activities and etc. have been exactly what you wanted. And so as we take a look at the upcoming week, before I get started with that, I want to remind you of a few matters. One, I have posted feedback for your first reflection paper, so I hope that you've had a chance to take a look at that. If you have not already done so, please feel free to review that. Again, you're encouraged to do so. And then if you have any questions, I'd be happy to respond via email. If you'd like to have a phone conference or Skype, please feel free to let me know, and I'd be happy to accommodate as well. Also, we're at the midway point, can you almost believe that, in terms of the semester. It's going by rapidly, and I've enjoyed my time with you. And I think it's a good time for you to start thinking about your innovation papers that you're going to be writing at the end of the term. David Kelly talked last week about working on projects that you actually have some interest in. And so I'd encourage you to use that same mindset as you're thinking about what you might select in terms of the project or the innovation that you want to include, that you want to analyze, that you want to discuss as a part of that formal writing that you're going to have at the end of the semester. So as we turn our attention to the week for activities, you'll notice that you have a chapter that you'll be reading out of the Morris text, and then you also have an academic, a scholarly article that you'll be reading as well. And so I know those scholarly articles, like we saw last week with Dr. Bogotsi, can challenge us and really stretch us in some important kinds of ways, because as a part of your graduate studies, taking a look at scholarly work and research is a part of that learning. And so that reading can take a little more time. What I'd encourage you to do is start with kind of a framing question perhaps about why the author has written the article, what's the point. That kind of gives you the big picture, and then you can start to navigate into some of the specifics in terms of how the article is structured, the arguments that are actually being made, and then finally what were the conclusions and the findings. And so perhaps that approach might be helpful to you. It's certainly a methodology, a tactic, if you will, that I use when I'm reading those works as well. And so as a part of our learning this week, you'll notice that one of the underlying themes has been leadership. And I think it's an appropriate time for us to take a look at that element in more detail for a couple of reasons. One, when you take a look at your reflection paper this week, we're looking at the role of organizational culture and adoption, and leadership is certainly going to be an integral component of that. I also think it's important for another reason, because as a part of your graduate studies, I think it's important to have some time where you sit back and you reflect and you think about your learning and its application to your personal and to your professional development. And so this week you're going to hear from two CEOs and chairmen. The first is going to be Ursula Burns, CEO and chairman for Xerox Corp. And then second, you're going to hear from Howard Schultz, CEO and chairman for Starbucks. And what I want you attending to as you're watching those video segments is, what are the insights, what are the particulars around how you think leadership actually impacts innovation in an organization. And much like your personality, your experiences, and other parts of your being affect the choices that you make, I think that you'll find some similarity as you take a look at the two CEOs that we're going to be examining this week. And so I hope that as you're looking at those video segments, again, that it informs your perspective in terms of leadership in its role in innovation and adoption of not just technology but change as well, and also too, again, how this might apply as you're thinking about yourself in terms of your own personal and professional leadership development. And so I look forward to your learning and the insights that you'll glean from that. And so I want to leave you with this final thought. And it's a quote. It's one of my favorite, and I often share it with students, particularly at this point in the semester as we're dealing with this particular topic. And so the quote is this, and it says, "Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. It knows it must outrun the fastest lion or it will be killed. Every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up. It knows it must run faster than the slowest gazelle or it will starve. It doesn't matter whether you're the lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you'd better be running. And so I'll leave you with that final thought. Have a wonderful week. I look forward to reading your second reflection papers. Bye-bye.